Welcome all Jesuit sports fans to Sprunk Stadium, home of the number 20th ranked Jesuit Crusaders, where they'll be taking on the 13th ranked Sunset Apollos. This is the third game of the series, which is tied at 1-1. Sunset won 3-1 Monday here at Jesuit, and Jesuit won 10-5 last night at Sunset High School. I'm Dylan McGrain, and I'm joined by Sem Kempf. We will be your announcers for today's broadcast.
And today is a big Metro League matchup for both these schools. Both are looking to make it back to those state playoffs, and this will be crucial in going towards possibly winning the Metro League.
You're totally right. Sunset right now is ranked number 1 in the Metro League with a 9-6 record. Their only loss in league play coming at the hands of Jesuit last night. Meanwhile, Jesuit's ranked 4th in Metro with a record of 8-5, and this year's team is driven by its senior leaders with 12 of them on the roster. And here we go. We're just about to get started. Leading off for the Apollos is number 19, Cruz Schoolcraft. He is committed to play at Tennessee. And on the mound for the Crusaders is senior number 17, Calvin Martinez. Ball there, first pitch for Martinez.
And that will kick us off.
Really excited for today's game. Two really good teams, great weather. Should be a really solid game. There's a deep drive. Looks fair.
We'll see if that and
he calls it fair. Schoolcraft rounds first, and he's going to get all the way to second.
So Schoolcraft with a leadoff double here for Sunset. That's definitely the start that they wanted.
Coming up now for the Apollos, shortstop number 7, Luke Sullivan.
And I think if you're Sunset here, you have to be happy. I mean, he took that first pitch, and then second pitch he saw, he just absolutely belted it into left field.
Exactly. It seemed like it fell right where he wanted it, and he was able to go oppo. Luckily, that ball stayed fair, and they've got great field position to start the game. Nice pitch there by Martinez.
First strike of the game for Martinez. We'll see if he can shake off that double by Schoolcraft. And he will throw another one.
Sullivan takes another strike.
He has to be aggressive here. He has to protect the plate, especially because that leadoff double leaves Jesuit vulnerable. And remember, Schoolcraft does not have to run here. It's not a force out.
Oh,
and
there's a deep drive to center field.
Schoolcraft will try to tag up on this. And nope, too strong of an arm in center. And Jesuit will get it in time to stop the advance.
Kaino Santiago, the Gonzaga commit, out in center field with a catch.
So now one out here in the top of the first for the Crusaders.
Here comes Gabe Coltman up to bat, the right fielder.
And that will be outside for ball one.
Good block there by catcher Ryder Listy.
Yeah, Listy doesn't get in front of that ball. Schoolcraft goes to third, and that would be trouble for the Crusaders.
Can't give up free bases to this good of a team.
So now Martinez has to start thinking about throwing strikes here.
And he's high.
That'll be a little high.
Not a great count.
So if you're Sunset here, do you take this pitch, hoping that it's a ball and that you'll get a walk, or do you swing away?
I think you take it. I mean, no reason not to. Oh,
he's going to swing away. Little chopper,
shortstop
and that leaves Schoolcraft safe at third.
You know, shortstop Jake Rowland, he got there, but just not enough time to make the throw, and that puts Sunset at a first and third position. So Curious to see what they'll do here, if they'll send Coltman to second, and how will Jesuit counter that. It'll be interesting to see.
So Sunset now with runners on the corners. And only one out, so they're in prime scoring position here.
Got to watch for a tag out. I wonder if Sunset right here will go for a sack fly. Try to get Cruisecraft home.
And that will be taken for ball 1. And honestly, if you're Sunset here, you have 2 hits right now. I think you have to honestly stay aggressive here. Oh! Martinez checks the runner at third.
Good move by Martinez, keeping the runners in check, make sure they don't get too far off the base. Umpire's going to call time here. Looking at the Sunset dugout.
So now Martinez with a 1-0 count. And that will go.
Jake Rolling.
Jake Rolling.
All the way to first, and they got the double
and that's
play.
a double play.
Great play by Jake Rolling to flip it to the second base. Henry Vanderhoff throws it right over to first.
In the top of the first inning for the
So,
no runs, there were 2 hits, no errors, 1 run.
here in the first inning for the Apollos, top of the first, they had no runs on 2 hits with no errors, and now the Crusaders will get a chance to respond. Sunset was in a strong position there, but an easily handled double play puts the Crusaders out of the inning.
Exactly. Really key to get out of that inning with no runs, especially when Sunset had runners on both corners. Really great defense by Jesuit. We'll see how they respond here. On the mound for the Sunset Apollos, it's going to be number 16, Will Slater. Ball's coming in for Sunset, and we are just about ready to start the bottom of the first. Up first for the Jesuit Crusaders, it's number 4, senior Kainoa Santiago. Gonzaga baseball commit, been a varsity player since he was a freshman.
Kainoa Santiago.
Hopefully get on base and start the inning off strong for the Crusaders.
And Santiago will watch a first pitch ball go by.
Not a bad place to put it there if you're pitcher Will Slater.
Trying to get him to chase. And that was definitely in the wheelhouse. That's strike 1.
Nope, not going to get him to chase twice in a row, but he's going to get a strike that time. See how Kainoa works this count.
And he's going to hit that directly to the second baseman. And that's a relatively easy out. So, next up to the plate is his future Gonzaga teammate, a junior, number 7, Jake Rolling. He's the shortstop for the Crusaders, and we'll see if he can do some damage after that initial out by Santiago.
And he is. He's going to swing first pitch, deep right field, and they caught it. That was the right field, Gabe Coltman with the catch.
So 2 down here for the Crusaders. No hits so far.
Now up to bat for the Crusaders, senior, first baseman, number 11, Carter Stewart.
And we'll see if Stewart can start a bit of a rally here for the Crusaders.
Yeah, not the start that you wanted, but still one more out.
And I mean, they've only seen 3 pitches so far.
Exactly. And that wasn't a bad move by Jake to swing first pitch, but
I think definitely a big part of this is reading the pitcher, seeing what you're going to get from him.
exactly. As the Carter Stewart hits the foul ball. As Jesuit gets more and more pitches off him and the same batters come up again, they'll start to understand him more and know his tendencies. But it's tricky with the first inning when you get the first look.
And that ball will be well outside for ball 2. So this is definitely a hitter's count. I think Stewart here is looking to work this count and use it to his advantage. I mean,
Yep, Stewart a big hitter here. He wants to work this count, and he wants to get a good hit off, but he doesn't want to get out.
wants to get on base here. That ball is going to be well inside. So 3-1.
Stewart here has pretty much got him where he wants him. Let's see how this next pitch goes. Tough take there by Stewart. The count is full 3-2.
He's got to protect the plate.
Gonna hit a pop up.
That's going to stay in the infield,
And it's caught by the third baseman, Parker Robo. Well,
so for the Crusaders in that inning, no hits, no runs, no errors by Sunset, and no one left on base, which will bring up the top of the second, where Sunset will get another crack at it. And you've got to think, if you're Sunset, you want to build off the momentum you had in the first inning here. You want to try to get, I mean, they were definitely threatening until that double play ended it.
yeah, but they got some momentum back there on defense. You can't ask for a much better half of an inning. You know, 3 batters up, 3 batters out, and they're looking to get some more kids on base and this time get some runs in.
And another big factor that can come in here is Sunset only threw 8 pitches in the first inning, and a big factor, especially in high school baseball, is the wear on their arms. And a lot of these guys will have pitch counts that are pretty strict. So the more pitches when someone throws, the more likely it is they're going to have to come out of the game before the end of it. They're going to have to bring in a reliever.
Exactly, and it'll be interesting to see when Sunset takes out Will Slater and when Jesuit takes out Calvin Martinez and who will back up for them. This is the 3rd game of the series, so both teams have used up a lot of their good pitchers and don't really want to push them too hard. So we'll see what relievers play later this game. Starting off the second inning for Sunset, it's number 2, Gavin Riley. Back on the mound for the Crusaders, Calvin Martinez and Ryder Listy behind the plate. We're ready to start the second inning.
And that will be sharply hit to the second baseman, but he will take care of it easily.
Henry Vanderhoff, the second baseman, the junior, middle infield junior pair of Jake Rowling and Henry Vanderhoff. Really great duo, and that's just a routine play, Sam.
If you're Jesuit, you love to see that first pitch out, being efficient here.
Exactly. It's like what we talked about, keeping Martinez's pitch count low so we can pitch him for longer. Second batter up for Sunset. It's number 18, Dakota Chun.
And I mean, if you're Sunset here, as Chun will foul that that'll be into foul territory, and that'll be caught for the out.
Third baseman Dylan Rucover. Great catch there. Tough in the sun out here, man, but you know, he's good and he stays ready to make plays and made a big one right there. 2 outs.
And next up for Sunset is number 8, Max Waldrip. He will take a first pitch ball, as the Crusaders have already got 2 down here in the top of the second.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Martinez can get this last batter out. Great pitch there, setting up the strike. 1-1 count right now. Another great pitch by Martinez. We're up to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This is definitely Martinez's count to play with. He's 3 balls to work with. And he will stay alive there. Waldrop will stay alive. And get to see another pitch from Martinez, but the count will stay 1-2. And that will be outside as the count will move to 2-2 now.
Martinez trying to get the batter to chase outside. Not going to do it. Waldrop good, staying strong and protecting the plate here. 2-2 count.
And he will hit that to Henry Vanderhoff, who will catch it in his chest, gather, and he will get the out. And that was not an easy play. The ball took a funny bounce off this turf, straight into Vanderhoff's chest, but he managed to contain it and got it over to first, and that will end the half inning. And the Crusaders will escape that with no hits from Sunset. So no hits, no errors, no men left on base, and we will head here to the bottom of the second.
Some really good defensive play being shown early by both teams. Both have really sound fundamental infielders and outfielders, and it's going to be a good game.
And you'll see here that Sunset has Schoolcraft over at first. Normally, he's a pitcher. He pitched that first game of the series, which Jesuit really just could not put up that much offensive production. But he, of course, high school pitch count, so he is now forced to move over to first and let someone else give it a try.
Yeah, that's going to be Will Slater back on the mound for the second inning. Behind the plate for the Apollos, Dakota Chun, also a senior. Starting off for the inning for the Jesuit Crusaders, it's the 4-spot hitter, number 10, Dylan Garg.
Designated hitter,
And generally
the
4-spot hitter. You're looking for a lot of power out of this guy. Not necessarily the ability to get on base, but they're hoping for something big from him here, as he will take first pitch strike. Good take there. Move the count to 1-1. And Garg will pop that up. Shallow outfield, and the shortstop will take care of it. So 1 away now.
Yep, that's shortstop Luke Sullivan, the junior, with the catch, and that brings up the sophomore, number 19, Kyle Goodwin, up to the plate. Goodwin, one of 2 sophomores on this Crusader team, and the only one in the order, so we'll see what he can do here.
That first ball will be off the plate, and he will take that for ball 1. And that one will also be off the plate, so he took 2 outside pitches, and now a very advantageous 2-0. Definitely a hitter's count.
I know he's got to be ready here for a fastball.
Third one outside. So now Sunset's put in hard position here. They have to throw a strike.
Yep. Slater kept trying to get him to chase. Goodwin's not going to do it. If you're Goodwin right here, I don't know if you swing, but... And he's not going to. He's going to take the first pitch, but that's all right. He's only got 1 pitch and 3 balls, so...
So 3-1 count now for Goodwin. He's being smart. So far, he's watched 4 pitches go by, and he swung at none of them. And he will swing and a miss there.
So now it's a full count for Goodwin. Really nice cut there, but just couldn't connect. And we've got ourselves a full count.
Just got to protect the plate. And he will. So that'll be a walk.
You know, and you'd love to see a hit there out of Goodwin, but at the end of the day, a walk is a free base, and right now Jesuit needs base runners. So that's great.
Second baseman number 5.
Coming up for the
Henry
Crusaders,
Vanderhoff.
it's the second baseman, the junior, number 5, Henry Vanderhoff, looking to get on base himself and advance Goodwin here.
And he will take a first pitch strike.
Sunset pitcher Will Slater's loving those outside corners. Trying to get him to chase, but he hasn't been able to get it. But that time he didn't need to chase as he got the strike anyway. He's going to throw
And
back to first.
Checks the runner.
Goodwin able to get back in time. Be interesting to see here. Jesuit's going to be aggressive on the base paths with not a lot of hits so far. Vanderhoff there showed the bump, pulled it back.
That'll go down as a ball, so a 1-1 count now. And he will check the runner again. He really seems to be worried about that runner on first.
Goodwin not taking too much of a lead there, but I guess Slater's worried he's going to steal.
Jesuit traditionally is a very aggressive team, so that could be part of Slater's worry.
Exactly. That's just the stuff you read about in the scouting reports.
Good frame job by the catcher there. Pitch looked a bit outside. He really brought it up into the zone. So now it's 2-1.
Not an ideal count for Vanderhoff, but you know he's pretty good at putting the barrel on the ball, so we'll see how he goes here. He fake bunted earlier.
And that ball will go outside, and Garg will, in fact, steal second. He was stealing anyway, but Chung dropped the ball, so no throw to second, and Garg is now on second. So a 2-2 count here for Vanderhoff.
Looking to advance Goodwin to third.
And
That's a
he
great-
will rip one into short right field, and the throw to the plate. Not enough time as Schoolcraft catches it in the infield. So a run will go up here for the Crusaders. Here in the bottom of the second, as Vanderhoff has an RBI single.
Really put in the perfect spot for Goodwin to get home. Just went right field, and Goodwin had a clear baseline. Didn't have to worry about the throw.
Number 14, Trey Cleveland.
Now we're coming up. Trey Cleveland, the senior, up to bat. 1 out. Vanderhoff on first. We'll see what Trey can do here.
And Vanderhoff is going to steal.
And
he's safe at second. Vanderhoff really showing off that second baseman's speed. And this may have been why Sunset was worried earlier. Jesuit being incredibly aggressive, making sure they get their runners in scoring position. So Jesuit went from a 1-2 count with 1 out and a guy on second, and now they have a guy on second. They've scored a run. Momentum's all Crusaders right now.
Exactly.
Vanderhoff dancing.
And that's how quick things can change in this baseball game. Trey Cleveland, big hitter right here, looking to advance Vanderhoff, potentially get him home. Only 1 out, so if you're the Jesuit right now, you've got to feel pretty good. And if you're Sunset, you just got to cut down on the base runners and just throw strikes here. Trust your
And
infield.
pitch out. They tried to pitch out on Vanderhoff, but he got back in time. And ball almost got by Chung. Manages to block it. Great block.
Really great block there. That could have been trouble for the Apollos, as Vanderhoff most definitely would have been to third.
Vanderhoff here in scoring position with 1 out.
Cle-
And Cleveland will hopefully drive him home.
2-1 count. Let's see what Cleveland can do.
As he will rip one into the gap. And it will bounce off the wall, off the Crusaders in center. And Cleveland will be at second with a stand-up double as Vanderhoff scores. So an RBI double from Cleveland off the wall. And the Crusaders just keep on raking here
Catcher number 8, Ryder
in the bottom of the
Liskey.
second.
Perfect take from Cleveland to put it right in the gap. No risk of being caught, and Vanderhoff's going to get home. Right now, for the Crusaders, number 8, the catcher, Ryder Liskey, is up. He's going to take the first ball as Sunset pitcher Will Slater is going to call time. He's going to talk to his catcher, Dakota Chun. He's been thrown outside quite a lot. Hasn't gotten a lot of strike calls on that outside corner, but he's going to talk it over with his catcher and make some adjustments right here. Got to find a way to slow down the Jesuit momentum if you're Sunset. Still only 1 out, and guy on second with pretty good hitter and Listy up at the plate. Not an ideal situation. We'll see what type of adjustments the pitcher makes here.
That's exactly what happened. Guy on second, and guy doubled him in.
Another outside pitch by Will Slater is not going to get the call. Count is now 2-0 for Ryder Listy. Slater's going to check the runner at second again. Not going to get him.
Vanderhoff singled him home.
After both Vanderhoff and Goodwin stole second, Slater's really trying to keep these Jesuit runners in check. Count is now 3-0 for Listy. Another great count. And again, probably won't swing at this pitch here, but you never know. He's got some power behind that swing, and we'll see what he can do.
He's really working the count here. And that will be outside. So a 4-pitch walk. Listy watches 4 pitches. And now first and second for the Crusaders.
Now the number 9 hitter for the Jesuit Crusaders is going to come up, senior third baseman, number 2, Dylan Rucauber.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 6, Kevin Ball.
Jesuit's going to send a courtesy runner to first for Listy. Listy, the catcher's got to get his gear on. Now Kevin Hval is going to be at first for the Jesuit Crusaders.
For the series win, need your best A game now, okay? Best A game. What's that? It says for the series win, you need your best A game. Amen.
So far, it's been more like a D+.
And that is another ball to the outside. So now 5 straight balls he's thrown.
You're right, 5 straight, and 5 straight in the same spot. He's really liking that outside corner. He got a couple strikes there earlier, but he's not getting it right now. And he's definitely going to have to change things up if he wants to get some of these runners out.
He's throwing away from the hitters. Jesuit has a lot of right-handed hitters, and he's throwing away from them outside. And that ball will be fouled off by Rucauber. So 1-1.
Still only 1 out here. Man on first and second for the Jesuit Crusaders. Another good
Ball.
stop there by catcher Dakota Chun.
But ball was in the dirt, and Cleveland did not go and make an attempt at third.
That's a tough read if you're Cleveland. Of course, you want to be aggressive on the base paths, but you don't want to be too aggressive where if Chun blocks it, he's got an easy throw to get out. As Rucauber takes a really good cut to a fastball down the middle. Not going to connect, and that's going to bring up 2 balls and 2 strikes for the third baseman.
Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Crusaders have been on a bit of a rally. He's got to protect the plate here, though. Keep this momentum alive. That ball is outside. Great take to load the count. So full count now here for Rukaber. With only 1 out, Crusaders have runners on second and first. And he will take another one outside. So bases loaded here for the Crusaders with only 1 out and bringing up their number 1 hitter, Kainoa Santiago, as it looks like Sunset will go and talk it over with Slater.
Smart play by Jesuit head coach John Barnes to call time here, try to cool off the players, see if we can slow some of this momentum down. But if you're Jesuit, you got to be feeling really good right now. You've already got 2 runs in this inning, Sam, and now you've got bases loaded, 1 out, and your number 1 hitter coming up to the plate. So we'll see how they handle it right here.
And I know it sounds simple, but Slater, he has to get guys out here.
Exactly. Hasn't been throwing a lot of strikes, but
He hasn't been making Jesuit work for it. I mean, Listy had a 4-pitch walk. Didn't make him work for it at all. Just watched 4 pitches go by. Didn't swing once.
exactly. I'm sure he can make some adjustments, though, and he's batted right now for the left-handed hitter, Kainoa Santiago.
And Santiago will swing at a ball up the middle.
And that's going to bring Cleveland home and Listy. Great RBI there from Kainoa. That's what the first hitter does, you know. He's not necessarily going to put too much power behind it, but he's most definitely going to get on base. And that brings up the 4-0 lead at the bottom of the second here. Now we've got Dylan Rukaber on second, Kainoa on first.
And those are both speedy guys. As Jake Rowland comes up here, still bottom of the second. Crusaders have put up 4 runs in this half inning. And that ball is outside, so he will take that for ball 1.
Jake Rowling is ranked 5th in the class of 2026 in the state of Oregon. Not really the guy you want when there's 2 bases. There's 2 people on base already for the Crusaders.
And he
right
will.
on
That's
cue.
a powerful hit. Deep off the high part of the wall. And the runners will hold at second and third. But that is an RBI double for Rowling as he puts his hands up.
Rukaber's going to get all the way home, bringing up the score now to 5-0 for the Jesuit Crusaders.
So Sunset will keep on rolling.
Just like
Jesuit will keep on rolling.
Number 11, Carter Stewart.
Sunset will keep on
they'll keep on pitching, keep on playing defense.
pitching.
Hopefully they can get out of this inning. Still only 1 out. You know, innings like this can be a grind for sure if you're the defense, but we'll see how they handle it here.
And that ball will go inside. And can he get home? He does.
Kainoa
So
Santiago
steals home on that dropped. The ball was outside in the dirt. Slater got a little bit antsy. Chung couldn't block it. And Sunset now 6 runs. 6 runs on only 4 hits.
And although that clears the bases, you're feeling really good if you're Jesuit. Only 1 out, and your 3-spot hitter, Carter Stewart, put a lot of power behind that ball, and he's not slow either. So you're still feeling really good if you're Jesuit.
So rolling on third for the Crusaders. And we will see if they can capitalize. Still with only 1 out. Great take by Stewart, as that ball was well inside.
That brings the count now to 3-0. Hitters count.
And he will foul 1 off. Still a hitter's count, 3-1, but definitely swung away there. So the Crusaders staying aggressive even with 3 strikes. that will be a foul ball to bring the count to 3-2. So we'll see if Sunset can get their first out in a while here.
Really, really good job by pitcher Will Slater. Count was 3-0. Now he's brought it back to a full count. Really staying disciplined with this hitter right here.
And the punch out. So Sunset will finally add a second out after 6 consecutive runs by the Crusaders.
It's the first strikeout of the game for Sunset, but couldn't have come at a better time. Now there's 2 outs for the Jesuit Crusaders, and number 10, Dylan Garg, will be up to the plate. 4-spot hitter. We'll see what he can do.
There's a lot of power behind Garg's swing. The designated hitter, as he will see a pitch. I think he thought that was a bit inside, but that will go for strike 1.
Now Slater's starting to find his groove a little bit. Just got the strikeout. Another great pitch to bring up the 0-1 count for Garg.
And Garg will smack that towards center. Ball will bounce 1 hop off the fence as Garg goes to second. And he will hold up at second as Rolling scores on another RBI double for the Crusaders. And it is 7-0 Jesuit here in the bottom of the second.
Now that brings up the right fielder, sophomore, number 19, Kyle Goodwin, who already scored this inning. And now he's up again at the plate. Slater thrown really good these last 2 batters, but you know, if sometimes the hitter just gets the barrel on the ball, and you got to do what you got to do.
And he will hit a rocketing foul ball. And I would worry for the cars in the parking lot after that one.
I was just gonna say, man, I hope that wasn't my car that just got hit.
So Goodwin now with an 0-1 count. And he will foul that up the line to go to 0-2.
Goodwin staying really aggressive here with 2 outs, but that's what you want when you've got a runner on second.
So Goodwin going to stay aggressive with the runner in scoring position. And we'll see the pitch from Slater. And he will also foul that one off. Mercifully, it will stay within the screen, but he stays alive with an 0-2 count.
3 straight foul balls for Goodwin. You know, you want him to get it in play, but you really like that aggressive approach, and he's swinging away and getting some contact. It's just being patient, staying ready to barrel one up here.
Oh, and that will hit him right in the back.
Right in the back. Dropped the bat down, turned his head away, and that's going to be a free base for the sophomore. Oh, hope he's all right. That one looked like it hurt.
Square in the middle of his back, just above the number. But he will get a free base out of it. So first and second now for Jesuit, as Sunset will call another meeting. And Slater is getting taken out of the game. And they will bring in a new pitcher, number 6.
Number 6, that is Luke Sullivan. Excuse me, that's not Sullivan. That is number, I believe it's number 8, Max Waldrop.
No, it's number 6.
What is number 6? Luke Sullivan.
Now pitching for the Apollos, number 6, Leonardo Chirinos Carrasco.
Our apologies. That is going to be number 6 on the pitcher's mound for the Sunset Apollos, Leonardo Carrasco, and we'll see what he can do here. 2 outs now, but you've already given up 7
And
runs in this
Vanderhoff,
inning.
the second baseman, will come up as he will take a first pitch ball to the outside. But yeah, we'll see if Sunset can go into some damage control here.
It's going to take some time for Carrasco to find his groove, but they really need some outs right here. Really need to get out of this inning, as Vanderhoff will take another ball, bringing up 2-0 count for him.
And he will take a high ball 3. So Vanderhoff continues to watch pitches, 3-0 count, as Carrasco tries to settle in. Garg threatening off second. And Vanderhoff will take a very smart 3-0 strike to move the count to 3-1. Oh, Vanderhoff thought that was ball 4. Ball a little bit outside there. Sunset loving that outside corner. And that just grazed it to load the count. So Vanderhoff has to protect the plate here with 2 runners aboard.
Can't go down looking here. He's got to swing. Can't chase, but he's got to swing. Tough position right here for the hitter. But hopefully he can keep this inning alive for the Crusaders.
And that one he knows is a ball, as that will load the bases for Jesuit and bring up Trainer Cleland.
Left field senior. A lot
Also-
of power behind his hit.
Also plays quarterback and plays on the Crusader basketball team. So a 3-sport athlete.
He's committed to play football at UC Davis next year with his older brother.
Yeah, Royce Cleland just transferred there from University of Washington. Cleland will hit that, and it will drop. So Cleland now, that is his second double of the inning.
Second double of the
And
inning.
not just that, but his last one also scored runs. So now,
Well, although that one didn't score a run, it puts scored 2 runs.
that one scored 2 runs for the Crusaders, as that will move the score 9-0 Jesuit. All 9 runs coming in this half inning.
And again, it puts another runner for the Crusaders at third base.
So second and third now for the Crusaders, as Ryder Listy steps into the box again, and he will foul one straight back into the screen.
Sunset right now, finding them in a similar situation that they were midway through the inning. 2 outs, already given up some runs, and just got to get out of this inning. Just got to get their hitters back up and get a chance to put some runs on the board themselves. But Jesuit staying aggressive here, and we'll see what the catcher Ryder List can do.
Right now, this is a Jesuit onslaught. And Listy will smack that into center, and Sunset will settle under it to end the inning. Great knock by Listy, but unfortunately, right fielder was right there.
Well, although that one was caught, you got to feel really, really good if you're the Crusaders right now. 9 runs in the inning, and that'll bring the score up to 9-0.
So
Hollow error, and 2 runners were left on base.
for that half inning for Jesuit, the bottom of the second, they scored 9 runs on only 7 hits, and Sunset did have an error. But now Jesuit will get a chance. Hopefully Martinez can build on this momentum that was created by his offense and maybe bring these Jesuit bats back up, because they are hot. That rally started with 1 out, and the Crusaders didn't stop until they had scored 7 runs by the time the second out came about.
Yeah, really, really great inning for the Crusaders here. And if you're Sunset right now, obviously you're in a tough position, but you got to just stay mentally tough, stay disciplined, and trust your hitters, trust your bats, and be ready to just fight back inning by inning, chip away at the lead. And if you're the Crusaders, you just got to defend. Calvin Martinez got to throw strikes. Infielders got to throw the ball. Pretty simple right now, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, that's senior Calvin Martinez on the mound for Jesuit, and behind the plate is catcher junior Ryder Listy.
So Crusaders will toss that around the infield, rolling. Vanderhoff over to third.
It's Dylan Rukaber, and he'll give it back to Martinez. We're ready to start the third inning right now. As for the Sunset Apollos, it's gonna bring up number 10, Parker Robo. He's committed to play baseball at Centralia College. You know, good frame, a lot of power, really strong. We'll see what he can do to start this inning off with the Apollos.
He'll take a first pitch ball. And that's another one. So 2-0 count early. Hitters count here. Martinez is throwing these pitches really quickly. And he will foul that into the screen. So 2-1 count now. Still a hitter's count. He's ahead in the count. Robo's ahead in the count. We'll just see if he can get some momentum going here for the Apollos. And that
great
ball,
pitch there by
wow,
Martinez.
outside of the plate. That is exactly where he wanted that to go.
It's a really tough pitch to hit when it's away from you like that. And
2-2. Oh, watches that right on the edge of the zone.
really solid frame job by the catcher Ryder Listy. But
Full count.
that's a tough ball to call for the umpire, but that'll bring up the full count 3-2. Gonna hit it
And
right back
to the
Martinez.
pitcher. Martinez is going to make this really easy and just underhand lob it to Stewart from a couple feet away.
Although it got to the full count, that was a really, really solid pitching job by Martinez, especially for the first runner, and that'll bring up one out for the Crusaders. No runners on base right now for the Apollos. The second baseman, the freshman, Marcus Pollard.
And Pollard will hit the first thing he sees into center, and he will hold up, though, at first. Great job by the center fielder, Kainoa Santiago, getting in front of that. It just snuck by Henry Vanderhoff and into center, and that is a single here with one out in the bottom, or in the top of the third, excuse me.
And that'll bring Sunset back to the top of the order. Tennessee commit Cruz Schoolcraft, the first baseman, back up to the plate.
So they turn over their order for the first time today. And Martinez will have to go back down the lineup. And Schoolcraft, first time up, he doubled. We'll see if he can repeat that here. Schoolcraft is a tall guy, very scary to hit, to play against. Very scary to see in the batter's box.
Listy goes back to third there, or not to third, excuse me, throws back to first, hoping to catch the runner off guard, but the freshman Pollard got back in time. And that'll bring up a 1-1 count for Martinez and Schoolcraft.
Ball in the dirt to bring the count to 2-1.
Oh,
And wow.
good left field drive from Schoolcraft.
That is gone. 2-run homer for Schoolcraft. And he will get some of Sunset's momentum back here. 2-1 count and a 2-run homer for Schoolcraft.
Looked like that ball was pitched right where he wanted it. Able to go oppo. He went oppo earlier, actually, and he did it again, but this time it got out of there. Really needed for Sunset. That'll put 2 runs up on the board for them and bring the score 9-2. 1 out here, and the shortstop Luke Sullivan up for the Apollos.
And Schoolcraft, one of those rare left-handed hitters. Oh, as he will pull back a bunt.
Yeah, exactly. Left-handed hitters usually will pull it to the right side of the field, but Schoolcraft has gone opposite both times.
And going opposite is significantly more difficult. than pulling the ball. If you pull the ball and you hit it the direction that you hit, so if the right-handed hitter hits it right, then hits it into right, then that means he was behind, or that he was ahead on the ball. But in order to pull the ball, you almost have to be behind it, which takes a lot of discipline.
Exactly. But the Tennessee commit Schoolcraft is more than skilled enough to do that, as he just showed you right there. Right now, Luke Sullivan's got a 2-1 count. Martinez hoping to get this batter out right here.
And he will put that right in there to bring the count to 2-2.
It is the third inning. Scratch that tape. Scratch that tape.
Whoa. And that is a sword. I think he might have just tipped it.
Either way, it's going to bring the count up to 2-2. Sullivan looked like he really wanted that one, but just not able to connect right there. So Martinez is looking to get this batter out and put another out on the board for the Crusaders.
And right up the middle, Vanderhoff lays out for it, can't come up with it.
Vanderhoff made this stop, athletic dive to cover the ball, but he's just not able to get up in time to throw it as Sullivan will get to first. That'll bring up still one out here, and the right fielder, number 21, Gabe Coltman, will come up for the Apollos. Big hitter right here. He's looking to get in some runs.
Fortunately, Vanderhoff was able to block that with his body, prevented it from going into center, and possibly prevented a sunset double. And that will be sharply hit to the third baseman. Can't quite grab it in time, bobbles it a little bit. No throw to first, as Sunset will advance the runner to second.
Man, that could have been a double play, and that would have been huge for the Crusaders to get out of this inning. But fortunately, Rucauber bobbles it. And now for the Sunset Apollos, it will be number 9, Leonardo Carrasco, the pitcher that just came in for Will Slater last inning. It's going to be up right now with runners on second and first, only one out here.
And that will be in there for a strike.
Good first pitch by Martinez.
They call it a glide.
Wow, and just gets nothing but air with that cut and moves the count to 0-2.
Another really nice pitch, a breaking ball there from Martinez. Got him chasing in the dirt, and that'll bring the count to 0-2. Pitcher's count right here. Carrasco's got to protect the plate and just hopefully put something in place so he can get on base.
As long as Martinez doesn't throw it in the dirt, he can throw almost anything he wants. Listy tried to frame that one, couldn't do it. 1-2 count now. Still Martinez's count to work with, and he can do almost anything he wants with this, as long as he doesn't throw a wild pitch and move those runners over. And, oh, check swing. He did not, in fact, go. He almost went around there, but he just didn't turn his wrists over, so that will be a ball to move the count to 2-2.
Good job by the hitter Carrasco to stay aggressive but hold back at the last second so he doesn't go for something that he can't really hit, and that'll bring the count up to 2-2.
Wow, bat ball is crushed deep, back and gone. So a 3-run homer. And it is now 5-9. So 2 homers. Schoolcraft homered. And now on a 2-2 count,
Jesuit came into this inning up 9 runs. Now they're only up 4 with 1 out left. And up to the plate right now is number 2, Gavin Riley, the senior, subbed in to the 6th spot.
And
we'll
raucous celebration from the Sunset dugout. They are back in this game.
Man, just like that. Looked like Sunset was going to have to grind this one out to maybe cut the lead down, but they've cut it from 9-4 as a wild pitch goes there for Martinez. He's got to stay disciplined, right now. Can't be feeling good giving up 2 homers in this inning, but just got to stay disciplined, keep throwing strikes, trust your infield right here.
Sunset's really been working these counts. I mean, you really haven't seen them swing that much first pitch. They've really been working Martinez, as that will be hit shallowly to left field.
Left fielder right there, that is, I believe that is the sophomore, Kyle Goodwin with the catch there. Much needed out for the Crusaders, and Dakota Chun, the catcher, is going to come to the plate here for the Apollos. Let's see if Martinez can get one more out here.
And Martinez at this point just needs to get out of this inning, move on, let the Jesuit bats do the work. And wow, that is rocketed up the middle. Couldn't hang on to it. Jake Rolling, great effort. Thought he had that, but the ball was hit so hard it ripped his glove off. He will control it though, throw it into second, and that is a 2-out single for Dakota Chung.
Great play by Rolling. Gonzaga commit was ready right there. Able to get a glove on it, but just slipped out.
Courtesy runner at first base for the Apollos, number 11, Cohen Hall.
That'll bring up the left fielder, number 8, Max Waldrop for the Sunset Apollos. So they've got a runner on first now. 2 outs.
Number 8, Max Waldrop.
We'll see if Waldrop can do some damage here.
I know. Sunset right now has got the momentum back. Martinez right now trying to shut him down. And he will. First pick strike right there. Much needed.
Martinez has to give those Jesuit bats an opportunity to respond. And he will check the runner at first. Great attempted pitch out, but did not work there. Tried to pick him off. And that ball is hit. Vanderhoff controls it. Bit of a high throw, but Stewart controls that. And that will end the inning. So there, in the top of the third for Sunset, they scored 5 runs on 5 hits. Jesuit did have 1 error, but now they head into the bottom of the inning. Up 4.
Fortunate he gave up 5 runs there if you're the Crusaders, but you just got 9 last inning, so I'm sure they're looking to keep that momentum going, put some more runs up on the board, and extend this lead in the bottom of the third.
So the 9th man in Jesuits order, I believe, coming up now.
Yep, you're right. That's Dylan Ruckaber, the senior third baseman, leading off for the Crusaders here.
And then, if you're Sunset, you have to be scared to face Santiago and Rolling again. That's an incredible 1-2 punch at the top of Jesuits' order.
Exactly, and then, man, it seems like they were just up, but you're right. And then following that, you've got Carter Stewart, Dylan Garrick, some kids that can really put the barrel on the ball. So, if you're the Apollos right now, you've just got to, take it one batter at a time. See if you can get some outs right here early on.
Number 2, Dylan Ruckaber.
So Ruckaber now here in the bottom of the third. The Crusaders still in control of this game, up 4. But you got to imagine that they aren't feeling too good after giving up 5 runs that last inning. And they will take that ball outside for ball 1. And that will be sharply hit to third. Corralled, sent over to Schoolcraft at first. And Rucaber will be retired, which will bring up number 4, Kainoa Santiago.
Top of the order for the Crusaders, the center fielder, number 4, Kainoa Santiago.
As he will dig in.
Yeah, good job by Rucaber there to put the barrel on the ball.
Just was not quite where he wanted it. And that will be outside. Chung drops it, but with no one on base, it's not a big deal, as Santiago will look at ball 1. And a little bit higher in the zone. Ball 2.
Bring up 2-0 for Santiago, 1 out. Ooh, looked like a good pitch to hit there, but Santiago's going to take it, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think that was where he wanted to put that. The pitch before that was called a ball. I think he just had to put it a little bit lower, and now that was right in Santiago's wheelhouse. And Santiago will foul one back powerfully into the screen. 2-2 count now. So after Rucaber grounded out to third, there's 1 out now here in the bottom of the third. And he will hit that relatively deep into right, but it will be caught, and Santiago will be retired. Which brings up number 7, Jake Rolling.
The shortstop, number 7.
That was left field, number 8, Max Walder with the catch there. Bring up 2 outs for the Crusaders. No men on base. Jake Rolling's going to try to change that right here.
And some instructions here from Coach Colin Griffin.
Gotta wonder what he's talking to Jake about right now. Can't be sure, but if I had to guess, it'd be something about just putting the ball in play, getting on base. Jesuit right now needs base runners, but we'll see how it plays out right here.
And wow, first pitch right up the middle to center, and Rolling will stand at first.
Good first pitch fastball hit by Rolling. He was ready for that one. Drove it right up the middle. Easy single.
And now number 11, Carter Stewart, up next.
2 outs right now for the Apollos.
So Rolling on first, and let's see if Carter can move him over.
Ooh.
As he will swing through that one. He wanted that.
He did. Great cut. A lot of power behind that swing. Just couldn't connect. Hopefully he puts the barrel on it right here.
And fouls that one into the screen.
That'll bring up 0-2 for Carter Stewart. Not the count you want as a hitter. Right now you just got to shorten up the bat. Just try to put the ball in play and keep this inning alive for the Jesuit Crusaders.
Protect the plate, make contact, foul some pitches off. And the runner will get checked at first, but Rolling scurries back in time. These Jesuit runners last half inning, bottom of the second, they were very aggressive on the base paths, got them in a lot of good situations. And I wonder if that may be what they're trying to do with Rolling here with 2 outs. That ball, wow. And an athletic play from Cruz Schoolcraft as he will grab that ball that Carter hit over towards first and jog it back to first for the last out of the inning.
So that'll finish up the third inning right now. The score is now, or excuse me, that'll finish up the top of the third inning. The score is 9-5 Jesuit.
No errors and 1 runner left on
And
Our score remains 9-5.
So,
no run, or excuse me,
Jesuit finished up the bottom of the third there with no runs, 1 hit, which was that single to center by Rolling, and 1 man left on base. No errors committed by the Apollos.
And now a pitching change for the Jesuit Crusaders. Calvin Martinez has taken off and has been replaced with the lefty, number 4, I believe.
Kainoa Santiago.
That's Kainoa Santiago, yep.
So Santiago will get moved out of center, and he will move onto the pitcher's mound.
Yep, Kyle Goodwin is replacing him in center field. And
Who does that move into left?
a little hard to tell from this angle. I believe.
I think that is Riley Teed.
I think you're right. We'll see what Kainoa can do right here. Martinez had a really solid first couple innings. Gave up 5 in the third. But, really solid pitching job overall, and we'll see what Kainoa can do right here.
So Teed, the outfield looks, well, now we have Listy behind the plate, and nothing's changed there. Nothing's changed over at third. Rucauber's holding that down. Shortstop still Jake Rolling. Second base still Henry Vanderhoff. And first base still Carter Stewart. Changes came. Santiago moved from center to the pitcher's mound. Kyle Goodwin moved into center. Teed's now in right, and Trainer Cleveland moves from right into left field.
It's not too many changes here, but pretty significant one with the pitcher. Right now for the Sunset Apollos, it is the third baseman Parker Robo, the Centralia commit, leading it off for the Apollos.
He will take a first pitch ball outside from Santiago. Santiago looks to settle in here. And foul tipped that. Got just a tiny piece of it. And most of that ball went into the backstop. So now 1-1. And that will be a ball to move the count to 2-1. So looking at a very favorable count here. And that will be called a strike. So now 2-2. Santiago.
Doing a good job here early on with this first batter. We saw him warming up in the bullpen during the last inning, and he is ready to go as he strikes out Robo to start the inning. Great job there by the Gonzaga commit. That'll bring up the Sunset Apollos, number 4, the freshman Marcus Pollard.
And that will go to the backstop for ball 1.
Another ball there for Santiago. 2-0 count right now. Marcus Pollard's probably feeling pretty good, but... Oh, good hit to the left field line. Oh, Kyle Goodwin dived for it, couldn't get it. Pollard's going to round 2, and he's going to stay right there as the Jesuit gets it in. Really nice hit. Kyle Goodwin almost got it, but Marcus Pollard is going to get to second. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Sunset Apollos. Cruz Schoolcraft, the first baseman, leading off. Or excuse me, it's going to be Luke Sullivan right now. Oh no, they intentionally walked the lead hitter, Cruz Schoolcraft, after he hit a 2-run homer in the last inning.
Schoolcraft doubled in the first and then hit a 2-run homer in the third. So understandably, the Crusaders are a little bit scared of the lefty, and they'd rather just move him over to first automatically than deal with that big swing he has.
Especially when I think feels like, and Coach Griffin feels like they can get the 2, 3, and maybe 4 hitters out for the Sunset Apollos. But not a bad play right there.
And the other thing to watch out for is Santiago is a lefty, and oftentimes lefties will perform quite well against right-handed batters because it's the fact that they're facing the same way. They both have their bodies turned the same way. It can make it hard to read the ball coming out of his hand, especially it makes it seem like the ball's almost coming towards you. And since Schoolcraft is a lefty as well, he would actually be facing a different way than Santiago, which would make them lose this advantage.
Exactly. Gives the advantage to the hitter rather than the pitcher.
And he will swing through that one for 2-2.
Great frame job by the catcher, Ryder
Wow.
Listy. And he will strike the shortstop, Luke Sullivan, out.
So Santiago puts Sullivan away to bring up the third hitter.
The regular number 21, Gabe Coltman.
It's going to bring up 2 outs in the inning. And for the Sunset Apollos, it is the 3-spot hitter. Number 21, Gabe Coltman. He's a senior. He's committed to play baseball at Upstate College. We'll see what he can do there as Santiago pitches first ball.
Just a little bit outside there. Not quite what he wanted. And wow, blasted into center. Goodwin settles under it, and that is a can of corn as Sunset leaves 2 unbased.
Really nice job of bouncing back there for the Jesuit Crusaders. They gave up 5 runs last inning, no runs this inning, so really nice adjustments. Really nice job by Santiago and the infield and outfield for getting some stops.
So Santiago manages to hold off Sunset there. Only 1 hit for the Apollos. Schoolcraft was intentionally walked, but so Sunset does leave 2 guys on base. No errors for the Crusaders in that inning as they will head into the bottom of the 4th, hoping to tack on to their 4-run lead. And first up here is going to be the Crusaders' 4-spot hitter, Dylan Garg.
And back on the mound for the Apollos, it's another lefty. Number 6, Leonardo Carrasco. Came in earlier for the starter pitcher, number 16, Will Slater. And we'll see what he can do here against Dylan Garg leading off.
And first pitch strike here to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
That was a nice pitch right there by Carrasco. Lefty on lefty, breaking ball, fell right into the center of the plate.
And wow, powerfully hit by Garg. Back, gone over the wall in center. He got all of that, and he will trot around the bases as the Crusaders lead it off here with a home run from that 4-spot hitter, Dylan Garg. And that's really what you'd expect out of a 4-spot hitter. Wow, they're going nuts over there.
Oh, yeah, he's fired up. That'll get the dugout ready to go.
But that's really what you expect out of your 4-spot hitter there. Just raw power, smacked it into center, and it will go over the wall. Wow. And sophomore, number 19, Kyle Goodwin.
He's going to swing again, first pitch. But that ball...
And great pick by Schoolcraft.
To make the out.
Tough play from the third baseman, but he slid in there, got the ball over to Schoolcraft, who had to go a little bit low for it, but that will retire the first Crusader.
Second baseman, number 5,
Now we've got
Henry
number
Vanderhoff.
5, the second baseman, Henry Vanderhoff, up to the plate. 2 outs right now, but there's still some momentum from Garg's homer. Vanderhoff's hoping to build off that, and he will.
Wow, and unfortunately, that is easily handled by the right fielder. Great cut by Vanderhoff, made really, really good contact, but he was in the right place at the right time. And so this will bring up the left fielder, Trey Cleland. And he will watch a first pitch ball go inside on him.
Ooh, looked like a good pitch to hit. Cleveland's going to take the strike down the middle. Not what he wanted there, and that's going to bring up a 1-1 count, 2 outs. Another ball there from Carrasco. Again, really likes that outside corner, but he's not going to get the call.
And that ball will also go outside.
3-1 count here for Cleveland. Really good hitters count, but he's got to be careful because he's 1 strike away from a full count. And that is what will happen. Cleveland thought it was a walk.
Oh, you thought it was a walk.
Nope. That's going to bring out a full count.
Oh, that hurts to see. He thought he was going to get to go to first there. Now he's going to have to battle. He's going to have to protect the plate. Like you were saying earlier, Dylan, all these guys are going to he has to shorten up a little bit on his bat. And
that's what he's going to do.
Wow. He's going to drive that in the gap between first and second. And now the Crusaders are going to have another base runner.
Bringing up the catcher, Ryder Listy up to the plate here. 2 outs, but there's a man on first. Still some opportunity to advance some base runners.
And Listy has been great behind the plate so far.
Listy.
We'll see if he can add some offensive production to that. And powerful drive to center. We'll see if they can get under that. Center fielder calls the left fielder off. Listy got a great cut on it, but the side is retired. So Jesuit in that inning, 2 hits, 1 run, which is that home run by Garg. No errors by Sunset, and that will bring up top of the 5th.
Scores 10-5, Jesuit winning. And Kainoa Santiago back on the mound. This is going to be a second inning at pitcher, and played really good last time, really good pitching, gave up no runs, and we'll see if he can do the same thing here.
Santiago's been shut down so far, only gave up 1 hit, and it was a single, and only has allowed 2 base runners, and one of those was the intentional walk to Schoolcraft. So we'll see if he can continue this dominance. Those shadows are really starting to come in from left field.
Yeah, difficult, especially when the pop-up comes, when it goes from light to dark, from the sun to the shadow, it can be hard to catch. But, I think the Jesuit players are used to playing in conditions like this. They're used to playing on this field, and they'll be ready to go. Leading it off for the Sunset Apollos right now, it's number 9, the pitcher, Leonardo Carrasco. We'll see what he can do here.
Off in the top of the 5th inning for the Apollos, number 9 center fielder Cole Sauter.
Excuse me, that's not Leonardo Carrasco. That's going to be the center fielder, Cole Scrotto. We'll see how Kainoa does against him. First pitch, it's going to be hit.
Well
left
hit,
field.
back, and Teed could not figure out where the ball was in the sun. He's going to throw it straight into second, but he's going to slide in there with a double.
Looked like Teed reacted a little bit slow, wasn't totally ready. Able to get the ball in, really good throw to second, but you would have liked to get that out right there if you're Jesuit.
Designated hitter, number 2,
That was a
Gavin
deep
Riley.
hit, almost to the wall, and T just never quite got under it. Bounced off the wall, and Sunset ends up with a nice little double there to start off their 5th inning.
It's going to bring up the designated hitter, number 2, Gavin Riley, to the plate.
And Riley's going to swing through Santiago's pitch. Nothing but air there, and 0-1 count. And
He's calling time here. Looks like Riley hurt his hand a little bit maybe on the last pitch. He's talking to the umpire right now. And they're bringing over the third base coach to check on him. Trainer Bryce of Jesuit is going to come down onto the field to check on him.
Bryce Gillespie.
Now might be a good time to talk about what's going on at Jesuit, Sam. You know, what's going on with the students right now. You know, what's coming up. Can you talk a little bit
Well, I
about
think
that?
a big thing for most of these Crusaders that they're going to be thinking about, and I'm going to assume Sunset too, is prom season's coming up.
Exactly. Junior and senior prom coming up just under a month. Really excited for that. Yeah. Going to be great too. And tomorrow also, we've got the Twilight Relays. One of the biggest track meets in the nation is going to be hosted by Jesuit tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow throughout the afternoon, some of the best athletes from across the country. I mean, kids from Colorado, from states like as local as Washington and Idaho, but also from Colorado, even a couple from the East Coast. 176 schools will be coming to Jesuit tomorrow to compete.
Probably the biggest sporting event of the year for Jesuit. And just really, really great event. I'd encourage everybody to come out if they can.
And he will show bunt, pull it back, and that will be a 1-1 count.
Good pitch there by Santiago. Bringing up strike 2. That's going to be 1-2 count. No outs here for the Jesuit Crusaders at the top of the 5th.
And Sunset is threatening with the guy on second. That's a guy in scoring position right there. Wow, he will swing through it. Listy, though, handles it easily.
Yeah, although
And
that
that
was the
is-
third pick strike, the ball was dropped by Listy, meaning the runner can try to go to first and get a base, but Listy was all over it, able to secure the ball and get the out.
Now we got a little lefty-on-lefty action.
Yep, number 18, the catcher, Dakota Chun for the Apollos, and Kainoa Santiago for the Crusaders. Really
Right
nice pitch
down
there.
the middle. And that will be hit shallow center. Goodwin is under it, and he will cut off the runner before he can tag for third. So runner will stay at second.
Good play by Goodwin to get under that and then get the ball back in the infield as quick as possible to make sure the runner on second for Sunset doesn't tag and go to third.
And just like that, there are 2 outs for the Crusaders, which brings number 8, Max Waldrop for Sunset up to the plate. And he will take ball 1. Good take there. Really tempting to swing that outside pitch. Both pitchers have utilized it the whole game, going outside, trying to get the hitter to chase, and he would not go for that there. weak little dribbler. Santiago will run it as close as he can and will kind of shovel it over to Stewart at first to get that third out. So Sunset here is going to have 1 hit, no runs, no errors committed by the Crusaders, and Sunset will strand that double that they had at second.
Yep, Jesuit gave up 5 runs in the 3rd inning, but has given up none in the 4th and the 5th. And now they've got an opportunity to extend this lead in the bottom of the 5th.
And since we only play 7 innings here in high school, instead of the 7th inning stretch, we're doing the 5th inning stretch.
Yep, and I'm going to get up and stretch. Now everybody's starting to sit back down. Much needed stretch for the fans and the announcers as we bring up the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Jesuit Crusaders, it's going to be, believe, number 2, 3rd baseman Dylan Rucauber, 9th man in the lineup. And for the Sunset Apollos on the mound, going to be number 6, Leonardo Carrasco. We'll see what Rucauber can do. You know, he's led off the inning, not just this time, but the time before that. And he had a ground up to 3rd last time, but hopefully he can get on base because that'll put the Crusaders in great field position with the top of the lineup coming back up with Santiago and Rolling and Stewart. So we'll see what Rucauber can do right here.
So Slater gave up 9 runs in the 2nd. And then
Leonardo Carrasco is back on the mound. And
Carrasco took over, and since he's only given up 1 run.
1 run, that was the homer by Dylan Garg in the bottom of the 4th. So he's done a good job so far.
And ball just slipped, got away from him a little bit. Great handle by Dakota Chung, the catcher, to prevent that from getting too far away. But that will make the count 2-1. And powerfully fouled off to make the count 2-2.
Good cut there by Rucauber, just couldn't fully connect. We like the aggressive approach, and that'll bring up 2-2, like you said, Sam.
We're all kind of got our own version of how the show runs.
Rucauber strikes out there to start the inning. Not what you want to see from the Crusaders, but that's going to bring up top of the order, the center fielder and pitcher, number 4, Kainoa Santiago.
Pitcher number 4, Kainoa Santiago.
High ball there, right down the middle, but just a bit high. It's going to bring up the first ball.
Santiago smart there to watch that. That ball had a little bit of break to it, but Santiago watches it again, 2-0.
Tough read when it's a lefty pitcher and a lefty hitter because those breaking balls look like they're inside, and then break right back to the middle, but Santiago takes a great read there. And there's going to be another ball. 3-0 count here for Kainoa.
Inside, and that will be strike 1. And outside for ball 4. And so that will walk Santiago over to first, and that will bring up Jake Rolling, number 7, the shortstop.
The shortstop, number 7.
That 1-2 punch of Gonzaga commits to the top of Jesuit's lineup. It's really, really powerful.
They've really been effective so far. We'll see if Jake can keep that going, advance Santiago, and get on base himself.
And, you know, one thing about baseball is, too, it's really interesting, is not just learning, like having to learn the other pitcher and how he throws as we'll check the runner at first, is also learning like the umpire strike zone. Sometimes some umpires will favor a bit of a higher strike zone, some will favor a bit of a lower strike zone, inside, outside. And so not just learning the way the pitcher throws and the way the pitcher pitches, but also the way that the umpire is going to call balls and strikes for both teams.
You're exactly right, Sam. And this umpire so far has called things pretty tight, but he's been super consistent, which is exactly what you want to see from an ump. Both umpires have done a great job so far.
And that ball inside as Rolling manages to bend his belt buckle around it and move the count to 2-0. And that ball in the dirt. Chung controls it, though. Runner does not advance from first, but the count does move to 3-0. So Rolling has a large advantage here.
Yeah, and that's the second 3-0 count in the row. Kaino had a 3-0 count, and now Rolling has a 3-0 count. So Crosco's struggling to find the zone early, but there's a strike right there to bring it to 3-1. And you got to think Jake Rolling's ready to swing right here.
He looks ready to swing. But Carrasco checked Santiago again at first. I mean, Santiago definitely has some speed. You have to if you're playing center fielder. But we'll see. Ooh, Rolling fouls it off. 3-2 count now. So full count for Rolling with Santiago over on first as the shadows deepen here at Sprunk Stadium.
One out here for the Sunset Apollos in the bottom of the fifth. Carrasco, that's going to be the fourth time he's checked the runner here at first.
He is very, Jesuit has been aggressive on the base paths early. That's how they scored their 9 runs. But he has checked Santiago a lot. That would be why Santiago goes. No chance of the double play, though, because Santiago did try to steal. So he got to second before there was any chance of a double play. And so that will cause Rolling to be out, but will also move Santiago over to second. So really smart there. That's why Carrasco was checking the runner so much. He knew Santiago was going to run to try to avoid that double play.
Yep, there's a 3-2 count right there, so Santiago knew Rolling was either going to get hit or get walked. So no matter what, he wanted to get to second base. Really heads up play there by the pitcher.
And fouled back into the screen, ball 1. Strike 1. And pitch on the way, deep into center. And that ball will bounce high off the wall. Great hit by Carter Stewart. Almost got out of here. Santiago will score, and that will be a double for Carter Stewart. And that brings up the 4-hitter, Dylan Garg. Last at bat, he homered.
Yep, homered last at bat, and almost a homer there by Carter Stewart. Looked like it was going to get out, but just fell short. But Dylan Garg is going to be aggressive right here. Right now, the Crusaders have extended their lead to 11-5 in the bottom of the fifth. We'll see if Garg can make that 12.
And he will take that pitch in the dirt to make the count 1-1. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. And he will take an outside pitch for ball 2. So now he is in a hitter's count 2-1. So far this inning, Rukaber got out. Santiago over to first. And then Rolling hit him over to second.
Carrasco wants time here. He keeps checking over a second.
And now
He's going to call.
Carter Stewart hit double off the wall. So he stands on second now. And now Garg is up. And Carrasco.
Seemed like he really wanted a time there. He's going to call the head coach in and his pitcher, Dakota Chun, and they're going to have a little conversation with the field umpire too. Next week, the Jesuit Crusaders are going to play another 3-game series, this time against Westview. Those games are going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week. So be sure to tune in again, see some more Jesuit baseball action. As the plays about to resume here, Dylan Garg up to the plate. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here for the 4-spot hitter.
And you got to think, if you're the Crusaders, I mean, as we get later and later into this game, you got to start thinking about the implications this has for the Metro League title.
Yep, Sunset sitting comfortably in first place right now in the Metro League with a 9-6 record and 7-1 in league play. Jesuit sitting at 4th in Metro, who's played a lot less games, but they're still sitting 4th, and this would be a really, really big win for this Jesuit baseball team in terms of setting up the Metro League championship.
And Stewart threatening. Garg will have it drop into no man's land. Wow, Stewart will come home. Garg will stay at first. Another Crusader run, and that ball almost died off Garg's bat, but it didn't matter. Fell into no man's land there and right. Right fielder was playing too far back, respecting Garg's power, you know, after that home run last inning, and the shortstop just could not run over and get that. And that will spell out the end of Carrasco's time on the bump as we will bring in a new pitcher, number 3.
That's Chase Kelly, the sophomore, is going to be on the mound for the Sunset Apollos.
Number 3, Ryan Gresham.
Excuse me, that's not Chase Kelly. That is Ryan Gresham. He's an infield right-hand pitcher, and he is not a freshman. He is a sophomore. He is one of 2 sophomores on the team for the Sunset Apollos, and he's going to get warmed up here. Leonardo Carrasco did a pretty solid job there, but I think Sunset really wants to keep this game somewhat close, you know, if they want any chance of coming back, and so that's why they're going to make this change right here. Here we go. Plays about to resume. The sophomore Kyle Goodwin up for the Jesuit Crusaders. It's going to be battling again. That's Ryan Gresham, number 3 for the Sunset Apollos. 2 outs here for the Jesuit Crusaders. They've got Dylan Garg on first and Goodwin up to the plate. So, again, 2 outs, but we're just trying to advance the runner, stay alive, and keep this inning going.
And if you're the Crusaders here, I mean, they've been aggressive all game, and I think they stay aggressive here. I think they just try to put as many runs on the board as they can, really protect this lead. You know, some teams would become conservative, but I think Jesuit stays aggressive here, maybe even steal a base or 2.
Exactly.
Definitely always that threat.
Yep, head coach Colin Griffin really stresses never becoming complacent, always extending the lead. So I agree. I think that's what they're going to try to do right
And
here.
I think Jesuit's wake-up call was, I mean, they were up 9-0, and then Sunset scored those 5 runs. Now Jesuit slowly building that lead, and Sunset has not been able to have an answer for Kainoa Santiago's pitching.
Nope, that first ball right there from Gresham, it's going to be a bit low. The second one's going to be outside. Let's see, just trying to find his groove right now in his first 2 pitches.
And outside. He just needs, I think he's going to need to see a couple batters before he settles in here. Especially because, I mean, he's only a sophomore.
That pitch looked pretty good right there, though. He needed it. That's going to bring up 3-1 with 2 outs for Goodwin.
And wow, powerfully hit. So we had a sophomore on sophomore battle here.
Goodwin's going to foul it off, and that's going to be a 3-2 count. He was ready for that pitch. He was just a little bit early, but great power behind it. And this is a big pitch right here, 3-2, 2 outs.
And Garg, like I said, staying aggressive, but the steal was not necessary. As here with 2 outs, Goodwin's going to draw a walk, and that will bring up number 5, the second baseman, Henry Vanderhoff.
Now batting second baseman, number 5, Henry Vanderhoff.
We'll see what Vanderhoff can do right here. You've got runners on first and second. Again, same thing we just talked about. 2 outs, but there's still some opportunity to extend this lead, and you got to think that's what Vanderhoff's feeling right now.
And that is a strike. First strike called to Vanderhoff.
Not all of them good. Let me assure you.
And outside, he works the count 1-1. And looks to bunt, pulls it back.
Can bring up a 2-1 for Vanderhoff.
Yes, 2-1. Really checking the runner at second there. And well inside.
Vanderhoff's going to take that one, brings up 3-1 with 2 outs.
So after getting that first pitch strike, now 3 straight balls to Vanderhoff. You got to think that he's looking to walk here, load the bases.
Yeah, but he also can't be too careful, and he's got to make sure no easy strikes go by, because
And
just
oh,
like that, just
he
like
thought
that.
that was a walk.
it's going to bring up 3-2. Can't get
Instead,
complacent.
full count. He was so ready for that ball, and it just fell right at the bottom of that strike zone.
Another full count. Gresham walked the last one. Let's see if he can strike out this guy here.
Both teams really working the pitchers here. A lot of full counts.
Yep, both pitcher and batter have done a good job about working the count, staying patient, and just trying to get what they want.
And Vanderhoff is going to hit that one over to third. And he is out at first. So, Jesuit in that inning. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors by Sunset, and they will leave Garg stranded at second. And they will leave
So
Goodwin stranded over at first.
Yep, we've got 2 innings left in this game. 6 outs needed for the Crusaders. And they got to be feeling good right now. Up 7. And
They are in control. They are in the driver's seat.
Exactly. Just got to keep doing what they've been doing. Kainoa's got to keep throwing strikes. Infield's got to stay ready. And just got to keep getting outs. Ball goes down. Ryder Listy throws it to second. And we are about to start the 6th inning. Listy and Santiago having a little chat before we get going here. For the Sunset Apollos,
Third baseman number 10,
it's going to be the third baseman, number 10, Parker Robo, kicking things off here. He's going to swing at the first pitch, hit it to the second baseman. Vanderhoff makes the easy throw to Stewart at first. And the first out of the 6th inning is made for the Jesuit Crusaders.
Second baseman number 4, Marcus Pollard.
Now we've got the freshman for the Sunset Apollos. Second baseman is going to be number 4, Marcus Pollard. He's going to take the first ball there. Listy did a good job framing it. Not a bad spot to throw a ball right on the border of the strike zone.
And that is a dribbler to Santiago. He will make this as easy as possible. Shovel over to Stewart at first. They'll toss it around the infield a couple of times, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Unfortunately for the Crusaders, this does bring up Cruz Schoolcraft, number 19.
Number 19, Cruz Schoolcraft.
Don't think they're going to intentionally walk him this time with nobody on base. 2 outs here, top of the order. Let's see what Santiago can do.
Lefty on lefty battle here. Schoolcraft will rip it to short, but it will be the third baseman that collects it. And that one hopper, and the Crusaders are already out of the inning. My goodness, that was quick.
3 up, 3 down. Just brilliant from Santiago and the infield.
No errors, nobody.
Great play by Rucopper. That was a hard hit ball. Shortstop was playing a little bit more over towards second base, so Rucopper had to come over from the third base position and make the sliding play.
Yep.
And we will head here into the bottom of the 6th now. A very quick top of the 6th.
And that puts the sophomore for Sunset, Ryan Gresham, right back on the mound. Catcher's going to come out. Again, that's number 18, Dakota Chun. For the Crusaders, senior Trey Cleland is going to be leaning off the left fielder. A lot of power behind his hits. We'll see if he can start things off right for the Crusaders. Ball's going to go down to second. And here's Trey Cleland.
The left fielder, number 14, Trey Cleland.
So Cleveland will step into the box, looking to protect this Crusader lead. And the Crusaders have been incredibly efficient today.
Ooh. High ball almost hit Cleveland. He had to duck out of the way. That one is going to hit him.
Will get hit. First ball was inside. Second ball fully hit him. And he will trot over to first.
Gresham throwing a little wild to start this inning. He's just doing his best to find his groove. Almost hit Cleveland with the first pitch. Definitely hit him that second one, and that's going to bring up the catcher here.
Correction. We have a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitter here, and that's Kevin Hall.
Senior stepping in for Listy.
And, I mean, with that quick changeover, I bet you that Listy just hasn't gotten out of his catcher's gear yet.
Exactly.
Catcher for Listy. Because Listy, my bet is he hasn't gotten
Kevin Duvall, first at bat here in this game. He's going to swing, first pitch foul off. Really like the aggressive approach there from the senior.
And Duvall was a pinch runner earlier, but now he steps into the box.
Cleveland at first, no outs, 0-1 count here. Solid breaking ball. Really right down the middle. Tough call. It's going to be a ball, bringing up 1-1 for the senior.
So Vol will stare that down all the way, and he will get the call he wants. That'll be a 1-1 count. And well thrown. Also just missed the zone, bringing up 2-1 for the senior.
Ooh.
Swings through that one.
Good cut. Just couldn't connect.
He wanted that.
You could tell. Got to be really careful here. 2-2. Got to protect the plate. Just try to put something in play, advance the runner, and get himself on base.
Ooh. And that's a tipped third strike, which the catcher caught, which will send Vol packing.
And now, senior Grady Keljo is going to come in for Dylan Rucauber. Also, his first at-bat, senior. Grady Keljo, like Cleveland, also plays football and basketball.
And baseball.
And
A
baseball,
lot of
course.
multi-talented athletes here.
Exactly.
And he will foul that back off into the screen for strike one. So Cleveland still stands over at first after getting plunked earlier. And now with one out, Keljo's got to be aggressive. Try to extend this Crusader lead. And outside. He'll watch it down all the way, and it'll be ones across the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Keljo's staying patient right here. A lot of power behind his swing.
And he wanted that. 1-2 now. Gresham's at a major advantage here. Keljo's got to hang tough. And like we've been saying all game, he's got to protect that plate. Whenever it gets to these 2-strike scenarios, you just don't want to go down. Especially you don't want to go down looking. That could be a double play ball. And not today, though.
Cleveland out at second, but Keljo able to run it out and be safe at first. That brings up 2 outs. And the top of the order right here, it's not going to be Kainoa Santiago.
Now hitting, number 23,
It's going to be number 23, the senior, Boris Christensen, up to bat. Looking over at third at Coach Griffin, trying to get the call. Now he steps into the box and he's ready for Gresham.
Boris, also a football player. So first pitch ball here to Christensen. And he will swing through that, though, to make it 1-1.
Boris is going to watch the second strike go by, bringing up 1-2 with 2 outs. Not a great count, but still plenty of opportunity to hit the ball and advance Cleveland, who's been sitting at first for some time now.
It's Keljo over at first.
Oh, excuse me,
After
Keljo.
Keljo. And it's not going to matter either way.
That is going
And-
to wrap up the top of the 6th inning.
So,
Or excuse me, the bottom of the 6th.
yeah, bottom of the 6th. So, Cleveland got plunked there to start the inning, but he was out on a fielder's choice at second, leaving Keljo over at first, and then Crusaders couldn't capitalize off any of that. No runs, no hits, no errors from Sunset, and we will head into the top of the 7th inning. which will be the last chance, unless the Sunset Apollos can score 7 runs here, this will be the last half inning of this game.
Yep, Desert only needs 3 outs to get out of this one, and with a 7-run lead, you got to think they're feeling pretty good. Still 3 outs needed, but they've got a cushion that makes them pretty comfortable right here. I know Santiago's back on the plate, Listy behind, and up for the Apollos. Starting it off, it's going to be number 7, the shortstop, Luke Sullivan.
The shortstop, number 7, Luke Sullivan.
And he will watch ball 1 go by. As well as ball 2. So
Both-
quick 2-0 count.
Both good spots, though, for Santiago.
Oh, and that got away from him there. 3-0. Only 3 outs needed for these Crusaders to get out of this Metro matchup. And Santiago has got to throw some strikes here. And he will not, and he will walk the runner over to first.
4 straight balls there. Not a great start from Santiago. But he's feeling all right. He's pitched a really solid game so far, and he's just got to try to finish it out right here.
He's got plenty of cushion here.
Right fielder, number 21, Gabe Coltman.
Gabe Coltman, the right fielder, is up to the plate now. He's a 3-hitter, senior, number 21. Again, a lot of power behind his swing, too, so we'll see if he can advance Sullivan.
And Santiago, after 5 straight balls, gets one in there for a strike. 1-1 now. And that is straight up the middle and just gets in the gap between short and second. Runner will hold at second base, but that will be a nice little single. So Sunset, with a bit of a rally here, they're playing some small ball, and they're on first and second now. Very advantageous position to be in, especially with no outs.
Your attention, please, now hitting for the Apollos, number 15, Joe Wetzler.
Up for the Apollos, it's going to be number 15, Joe Weltzer, senior. Up to the plate. Sunset's got runners on second and first. Still no outs here in this half inning.
Santiago's got to get some outs here. And that is inside for ball 1. He's got to find that rhythm that he had earlier. Santiago now has pitched 3 straight scoreless innings. But with 2 guys on, Sunset is definitely threatening.
Yep, and Coach
That is
Colin
ball
Griffin's going
2.
to call time. They're going to bring the infield in and try to talk it over. Maybe change the pitcher, but they might just be talking it over, trying to cool down Santiago.
I mean, with only 3 outs to go here, I think you got to be thinking that you hope Santiago's arm can go all the way, and so that way you don't have to use another pitcher.
Exactly.
And they're gonna keep
him in there.
They're gonna stick. They're gonna stick with him. Thought the way Rolling stayed on the mound there, I thought he might have been going in, but Santiago will stay out there and try to get out of this jam he's created.
And there's a
And
strike.
There we go. Santiago throws a strike, applies a little bit of pressure to the hitter now with 2-1 count. And into short. Wow, athletic play. Jumping over his head is Carter Stewart there in shallow left field. I mean, and if he hadn't have gotten there, it would have taken a while for the left fielder to get there. So surely he at very least saved the runners advancing.
Yeah, really nice play there, and hopefully that gives the infield and the pitcher Santiago a little momentum. Finish out, get these last 2 outs. But really nice play by Stewart.
He keeps the force there too. The runners on first and second, Jesuit can turn a double play.
Yep, and now for the Apollos, it's going to be number 11, the sophomore, Cohen Hall. It's going to take the first strike, and Santiago's feeling pretty good right now.
2 more outs for the Crusaders until they can get out of this. And with an 0-2 count, it looks like this may be one of them. Santiago's found his groove now. And wow, great pitch, nothing but air from Sunset. And that is 2 away here in the top of the 7th. 1 more out for the Crusaders.
And that brings up the catcher, number 18, Dakota Chun, to the plate. Hopefully the Crusaders can get this last out here, finish up with a win. It's going to be a first pitch ball, a little outside.
Similar spot on that second pitch, but also just slightly outside, slightly out of that zone. Pitchers have been targeting it the whole game, but just wasn't quite where he wanted it. And that's 2 balls. Third one's going to go a little bit in the dirt, and 3-0 now.
Santiago's got to reel it back in. He had a really, really nice last at
bat,
but struggling here. He's thrown 3 straight balls. Got to throw a strike right here.
He's got to get his composure back, and that was it. That's what he wanted. He freezes Chung on a 3-0, and count is now 3-1, and Santiago will step off. Reconsiders, checks the runner at second, and that will be hit solidly to the second baseman, who will throw it over to first, and that will wrap up this game.
Jesuit Crusaders get out of here with a 12-5 win over the number 1 team in Metro, the Sunset Apollos. Now they're coming out to the dugout to celebrate. Great job closing out by Kainoa Santiago. And the infield for staying composed. Henry Vanderhoff with the last out there.
And here they go, as the teams will shake hands. Obviously, they see a lot of each other, both being from Metro. And so the Crusaders come away with their 2nd straight win over Sunset. Started out the series 0-1, but they will take this series 2-1 here after winning this.
Yep, really fun game. Really good game. And that puts the Crusaders in better position in the Metro League games as they move closer and closer to winning another Metro League championship. And they're looking to continue that momentum next week into the Westview High School Series.
They return here on Wednesday to play Westview here, and then we finish up at Westview on Friday.
From all of Jesuit High School and JCTV, we thank everyone for tuning in and watching the game. Even though you can't be here, it's still great to support the kids. Played really hard, played really solid.
And tune in to the rest of the Jesuit baseball season here on JCTV.